Hey guys, welcome back to Two Sisters Unscripted. I'm Megan,
And I'm Caitlin.
and we thought with this week being Easter, we would dive in a little about our former Easter traditions or Easter traditions as we were growing up. We do want to apologize for all our listeners for being a few days late on releasing this podcast episode. It's been a crazy couple weeks. Um, so let's just dive in. Caitlin, what do you remember about, like, what was your favorite Easter tradition? Let's start there.
I would say as a child, the candy baskets. As a less child, the food.
Yeah. I remember one of my favorite Easter traditions was doing all the decorating with mom before, even though everything had a certain place. It had to be like the Easter Bunny train. Remember the little train that went on top of the TV stand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything had a place and it needed to be in that place. And God forbid it was a little bit out of place. It would be, no, to the right. No, back a little bit, back that way. No, come forward.
Yeah. No, our mom was very particular. Definitely OCD-ish, and that's okay. No, she would always have us color in eggs too. So we would color like a ton of eggs and then we would hand them out on Easter Day to family. It's like, "Oh wow, an egg." I'm sure. I'm sure they loved getting eggs, like not the poppable eggs you find a nice treat inside. No, the protein packed egg. Megan just said I was loud again. I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell her. This thing is down halfway,
I
so
don't know if it's maybe my speakers on this end. Let's see we'll see what happens. Um, I often laughed because we would write everybody's name on these eggs with like the clear
yeah,
crayon that came with the kit,
yeah.
and you could never read them. So you just had hoped you remembered what color, like who got what color egg.
No, I feel like they were pretty good considering the quality.
I mean,
I
as we
don't think
got
it was
older
bad.
and we
Yeah.
could read our handwriting to begin with, but
You just
I
had to
just
like dump it a few times to make sure it actually got like a dark color to it. So the pastel colors weren't really a thing because if you had pastel, you're never going to see the writing on the egg.
I remember one year our uncle like his favorite color was black, and I just remember trying to mix this egg in all the colors trying to make a black egg, and it was just like this disgusting brown. He took it.
Yeah, I mean, there's still an egg inside, but it was probably given like prehistoric dinosaur times. Like, wow, you really gave me an egg.
We used to go to, well, we went to Catholic school growing up, and we always had mass. Like at school, we have, you mentioned it earlier, the Stations of the Cross.
Mm-hmm.
But then Easter, we always went to like Easter morning mass, and Easter mass is when I made my first communion.
My God, that was, I don't remember it, but that was probably the longest mass ever.
Yeah, they combined first communion with a bunch of kids and Easter mass.
And Easter, that's crazy. Why did I sit through that?
You had no choice.
Mm, mm. What were you saying though with it?
See, now I don't remember because all I can think about is why would they combine those two things? That's torturous. We were what, 7 when you made your first communion?
Yeah. The whole like watching the Stations of the Cross, I'm like, oh, here we go. Um,
And it was the same every year, and we went to Catholic school our whole lives.
yeah, and that's why I'm like, here we go. Because like nothing changes, you know. Um, I feel like we could have at least add a little bit more music. I don't know. Make
Yeah,
it
but that
a
would have made it even longer.
musical. Stations of the Cross musical. But no, it was, yeah, it was, those were so long. And what's crazy is because not only would you get Stations of the Cross Easter Sunday in church, You would get Stations of the Cross in school too.
Yeah, for like the school Easter Mass.
Yes. And I'm like, how many Stations of the Cross are y'all going to make us sit through?
The only good thing about um our school, our longtime Catholic school that we went to, closing my seventh grade year was that I didn't have to do the Stations of the Cross as an eighth grader.
That's
I,
right, because the eighth graders did it.
they acted it out, and I just remember being like, "Wow, dodged that one."
No, you probably would have been like a sheep.
Yeah, anything that didn't have to speak.
Exactly. I was
Now that
gonna
I'm
say a wise man, but that's obviously the wrong.
no, I didn't
Um,
even want to present a gift. I just bah.
well, you probably would. No, you probably would have been one of the ladies. You know how they had like the ladies washing Jesus' feet?
Yeah.
You probably would have been one of the ladies. You don't say anything, you just wash his feet.
Oh no, I don't like feet either, so I'm just losing all the way around here.
Yeah, so that
No, well, the good thing was I was in choir, so I would have just been singing,
behind the whole time.
just on the side behind the piano.
Yeah, we were both in choir. Man, I thought I was hitting them notes. I cannot sing,
I
but
remember I did a solo once, and everyone's like, "You did good," but in my head, I'm like, "What I heard was not okay, and I'm probably never going to do this again."
I think that's it. I think they were just trying to be nice to all of us. Like, oh, you did so well. I'm like, y'all are trying to hype me up so I can go and fail in front of these people and just be embarrassed. I do think though, singing people, everyone is a singer. Every woman becomes a singer if she becomes a grandmother. I don't know what it is. I feel like once you hit grandma, your vocals are just like, it's time, you
Oh
know?
yeah, Grandma could sing.
Grandma could sing. That's why I'm like, and there's so many other grandmas that can sing, and I'm like, I think it's like a rite of passage, you know, like you become a grandma, and it's like, you know, your whole life you couldn't sing until this very moment, and suddenly you start singing to your grandbabies, and next thing you know, you're like a good singer. I don't know. I this is just something I've always believed that grandmas end up singing good. So you might be in luck, you know, if either of your kids decide to have kids, you might turn into a singer, a good one. Uh,
I
what?
lost my words. No, I remember Grandma. We're steering away from Easter, but
No, we're not, because we can just loop it right back in. Our grandma was singing in that church.
oh
You
yeah,
would you
and
would hear her on every hymn. She was singing. So right back, even on that Easter Sunday,
well,
she's like,
I was gonna say
Lord.
she, the guys at our VFW would try to get her to sing karaoke because she'd sing along with the music, sitting down
Mm-hmm.
at the bar, and if somebody looked at her, she'd stop singing, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Joan, we can hear you. Get up there." She never did.
Mm. She probably still isn't. She probably still isn't. But yeah, she'd be sitting in that pew, 7 a.m. She might not have dragged Megan, but I was felt like I was getting dragged to 7 a.m. mass. I'm like, you're waking me up 7 a.m. on a Sunday before it's 7 a.m. because it starts at, or was it
7:30.
7:30? So 7 a.m. But she would try to pick us up latest by 7:15. So I'm rolling out that bed.
Yeah,
7.
because Grandma had a pew, and we sat in that
And it was
pew,
like almost right in the front.
three
And I'm
back.
like, what? Right. And I'm like, what are we doing? And she's just sitting there, Lord, whatever the songs are. I can't remember them. Amen. Give me some songs that they would sing in the Catholic Church, Megan. I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Mm. Look at them. Look at us.
I know.
Send them to a Catholic school. 17 and 18 years. They can't even remember what songs they're saying in the Catholic Church.
Well,
Oh
and they
Lord, Grandma,
changed
don't come and get us.
everything. They changed everything. None of the
They
like in
don't
between.
change the songs.
Yes, they did.
I'm telling you right now that all
Were
they
you not
did
at
that
mom's
we say
funeral?
that's different. That's a funeral.
No, the like the little in between songs, like the communion songs.
That's different. I feel like that's different because it's a
No,
funeral.
they
It's a
started changing
funeral.
it years ago when
Either way, I think first of all, I think the communion songs sound exactly like it was back when I was there. And but then they just sing, and then they raise up the Bible for the gospel, and the priest is like, I'm not gonna do it because people are gonna be like, wow, you're coming out the
this
Catholic Church.
this sounds awful, but I kept going to church with grandma.
For the
7
I know what you're gonna say.
7:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
for the breakfast that followed.
Yup. Oh well,
Faithfully.
before you started going to breakfast, okay. Before they started going to breakfast, they would get Prinzo's Bakery,
Mm,
and you guys would bring that home. And there got to a point, y'all, that I stopped going. I was like, I'm not going.
yeah, Megan brings them home anyway. What's the point
That's
of
right. I'm like, I'm not going to church.
See, somebody from our house had to go with grandma for her to
Yes.
bring them back to our house.
After I got my confirmation, I was like, this is it. I'm not doing it any longer. Like, you guys have put me through suffering for this confirmation. I was fighting tooth and nail for this confirmation. And for those of you listening, if you're just like, wow, Caitlin's like really against like, religion, Catholic Church, whatever, whatever. I have my faith, but I think it is difficult when you're grown into like a Catholic church, you go to Catholic school, you do all this stuff, and it's very frustrating, especially because you have the seven commandment, no, seven, there's the 10 commandments, seven, what is it? Reconciliation, first communion, confirmation,
Sacraments.
sacraments, thank you. Seven sacraments. So you have the seven sacraments, and it's like you're doing all this stuff at such a young age to like reaffirm your faith, but you are still trying to figure it out. And that's kind of what like frustrated me when I did the confirmation, because I was like, at that point I was 15. I'm like, I don't really know like what I believe. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, there's so much stuff happening in our lives. Like, I'm angry, So it's like, you want me to sit here and, like, then get direction when I'm in a confirmation group with all these kids. And when you hear them talk outside of the confirmation teacher or whoever they are, I'm like, why are you talking like that? Like, why are you like, they were so disrespectful. And I'm like, these are the kids that I'm about to stand by and be like, we love Jesus. Like, are you serious? You're not acting Jesus like, you're not acting godly, or like what, not like we all act godly. You guys hear me curse up a storm on this thing. But yeah, and I remember I was talking to Dad and I was like, I really don't want to do this. And Dad's like, if it was up to me, you would have your choice. And he was like, this is not up to me. He was like, this is your mother and your grandmother, and you're going to do it. And I'm like, why do you hate me? And I even remember I go up. So during your confirmation, you choose like a confirmation name. And I go up. I did not put any thought into this. I did not choose like a holy name. I didn't choose a biblical name. I chose my sister's middle name. And I was like, so you say your full name. And I said it to the bishop, and he literally looked, he was like, he chuckled and he repeated it back to me. And I stared him dead in the face. I did not smile. I did not anything. I was just like, yup. And he like stopped chuckling and he was like, okay then. And I was like, all right, we done here? Like, give me the little sign of the cross and let's keep pushing. But it's even stuff like that. Like, we go up, we're doing this stuff, and then like we say this, like, and he doesn't know the thought. I mean, it could have been very sentimental to me.
It
I could have
could
been
have
like,
been.
this is I love my sister. This is the best thing I have ever thought to do, is use her middle name for my confirmation name. And he just said,
Oh,
oh,
you're supposed to choose a name that like
like
means something, like
reaffirms your
guides you.
faith or something. Yes, it's like reaffirms your faith, guy, like whatever,
Which is
whatever.
hysterical because I was only going to church for the breakfast. So I was
What was
guiding
your
you towards the
confirmation
food.
name?
Patricia. That backfired real quick. Real quick.
Well, either way,
I
um,
chose Patricia after our uncle and my godmother.
but either way, yeah, it was the confirmation was interesting. So, with that being said, I just felt like in Catholicism, which is I was baptized in a Catholic church. I definitely think there's a lot more. I just feel like, especially confirmation or like reaffirming your faith, reaffirming like your beliefs. I feel like, sorry, I hit my microphones. I feel like this should be something that you choose to do later in life, like when you're certain.
I mean, look at Dad. Dad got confirmed right before him and Mom got married
Yes.
because they were getting married in the Catholic Church, and he had to have all of his sacraments leading up to it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So in order to get married in the Catholic Church, you got to have all your ones before marriage. Marriage is after confirmation. Which is also funny cuz like you're getting confirmed at 15, which grandma got confirmed at like 7.
Yeah, it was even
Like,
younger.
so I'm like, "Oh Lord, jeez, us." So yeah. And then like before grandma passed, she's like anointed in the sick like 7 times. I'm
Yep.
like,
Oh, they would come in and they're like, "Does she want the anointing of the sick?" And I'm like, "Yes."
she wants all of it. And then what, the
Every
last one is
day.
just like death. Is that it?
Um,
Like your
Christian
funeral?
burial, I
Christian
believe is the
burial,
last
yeah.
one. I mean,
So
I don't think there's much after that.
no, so if you're in the Catholic Church, you're baptized, you confirm your faith, you get married, you're sick, and you die. So there you go, guys. A breakdown of your sacraments.
A little Catholic teaching here. Let's steer back to the fun part of Easter.
um, yeah, so well, the candy baskets were definitely mine. Our parents would give us like these. We always had one big giant chocolate bunny and then like different little treats in between. And then our dad
The Easter bunny was real nice to us.
always, yeah. We would sometimes get a little toy like here or there. Like I know, like I had a Game Boy, so sometimes they would throw like a Game Boy game in there. Um, but mostly just like the goodies, like jelly bean. I like jelly beans, but I
I
like
don't
jelly
like jelly
beans,
beans.
but
My favorite candy, and they still have it, is the sweet tart chicks, bunnies, and ducks.
really,
They make my tongue blister and bleed almost, but they are
yeah, that's why
amazingly
I was like,
delicious.
really. It's interesting because as I've gotten older, I become less like of a candy, like the sprees, the airheads, the Skittles, like stuff like that, like that type of candy. I'm more into like the chocolate. Like I love Reese's, so I'm more into like the chocolate.
And because it's Easter,
Chocolate.
Reese's eggs are the top-notch Reese's.
Are they?
Yes.
Mm, okay.
Reese's
Are they
eggs.
just like more filled? Like I just feel like the eggs probably a little bit filled more with like the peanut butter aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a little more peanut butter, less chocolate than an actual cup, but Reese's egg is the top
Yeah,
notch.
every time I say chocolate, I think of like the skeleton from SpongeBob. Chocolate! They sent a chocolate! I think it's wrong. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh my God. I know anybody listening to this is not lame. And they clearly know. They know exact Juliana, I'm talking about you. You know exactly the scene that I'm talking about. It's a little lady. She's in a wheelchair. She's like a skeleton worm now. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Anyways, so yeah, we would do that. We would also, our mom, my sister was talking about like the decoration. So yeah, she had like a little Easter train that went on the top of our TV set. And then we would also put like eggs on the bushes sometimes outside. Not real eggs, y'all. Like the
The little
plastic
plastic.
eggs we would put on the bushes. Um, but yeah, as I got older, I the candy baskets, they start to trickle less and less as you get older because, we're older. But the food was still what it had to be. And it was delicious. Megan, what did we have? Because she's
Easter
probably going to
was.
have it this weekend, but I'll be at work.
Eye of the round.
Mm-hmm.
Mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Corn. Asparagus.
Mm-hmm.
Grand biscuits out of the can because that's the only way to
Mm-hmm.
do it for Easter.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter Easter, uh, birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, there was always an ice cream cake involved in our family.
Yes. And with the Easter, you got a little Easter bunny one.
Yeah, yeah, we got photos of them to prove
Yeah.
it.
So, boom. Yeah. Um, Very simple, but very good because our dad is a really good cook. Our dad can throw down. I remember one Christmas, I was like, we have specific meats. That sounds strange, but like specific meats for all of our holidays. But I remember one Christmas, I was like, oh, Dad, like, can we make like a mac and cheese? I was just like wanting mac and cheese, and he was like, yeah. I actually don't know if we did that. I can't remember, but we ended up making mac and cheese at some point. I don't know if we ended up doing it that then, and I was like annoyed that we didn't or something like that. But we ended up making mac and cheese at some point, and I'm telling you, he can cook. He can cook. He can bake. He can do all these things, but he'll first say, I can't do it. So you start doing it in the kitchen and you're like, I need help, right? Or he'll be watching you. He'll be watching you do it and he'll be like, that's not how you do it. And I'm like, you just told me you didn't want to cook it. You didn't want to bake it. But suddenly this isn't how you do it. So our dad can throw down. He's like a chef in another life.
He still has the rotisserie oven that he would make the eye of the round in, and multiple holidays we're doing the rotisserie oven. We set it up. It squeals. It makes this like squealing sound that's worse than ever, but the thing still cooks.
It's kind of like almost like a not like ASMR, but like kind of like a white noise. It ends up
Yeah,
becoming like a white noise in the back, like a like a constant like because it just like does squeal like as it
it
turns.
does.
You end up just because it's on for like 4-6 hours like cooking. So it ends up just being this like white noise in the back. You go to bed, you just hear in your head because it's no longer on.
Um, Easter was when Red Grandma made cheesecakes.
Yeah. Delicioso.
And oh, the ice cream cake when I was 7, that Easter was the holiday of the great ice cream cake disaster.
It was Easter.
Oh yeah. Yep, the year I made my first communion, so I was 7. And Dad had me carry the ice cream cake to the freezer downstairs. I yelled up the stairs that I couldn't hold the ice cream cake and open the freezer door. So Dad told me to set the ice cream cake down on the dryer, which is the last of what I heard. Apparently, he finished that with, and then opened the freezer door and then grabbed the ice cream cake and put it in the freezer. Didn't hear that part, so when I went down to get the ice cream cake, it was leaking down the side of the dryer.
That's a lot to miss.
I swear that's not, he didn't say all that, but according to him, he did. I just heard, set it on the dryer. I was 7. I was like, okay, thinking he was going to come down and put it in the freezer for me.
We
He didn't.
had soup. And it's a running joke. I feel like we all have that one thing we do as a kid that haunts you for the rest of your life.
It does. And Dee Dee, our great grandmother, took away my favorite stuffed bear. I mean, she patched him up and fixed him and made him look brand new, but they
That
took him
same
away.
night?
She took him away for like months. It was my punishment.
Oh my God, Kirby.
Yes, Kirby. Yes. She brought him back with new paws and new hands and a new snout, but she took the teddy
Yeah, you
bear
know why
away.
it probably took that long? Because there wasn't Amazon back then. So she probably was like, I need to go to the store and get new paws and
No,
new
she just took like
material.
a fabric and cut it herself and sewed it in his paw. Still months without Kirby. You know what that did to me?
Oh
Trauma.
my God. When did you eat an ice cream cake next?
What was the next holiday we had one?
Oh, okay. Well, it
Or
probably wasn't a
something.
holiday. It was Easter, so it was probably our parents' birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. So a week later.
So you really weren't that torn up about it.
No, I was mad about the bear, not the ice cream cake. I was still gonna eat the ice cream cake.
Oh my gosh. What did dad like bring it down and bring you with him and be like, this is how you do it? He probably did.
I don't remember.
He would do something like that.
But for the rest of my years, even now, if he
Even
gets an ice cream
now.
cake, he hands it to me and goes, "This goes in the freezer."
Yeah. It's like
Thanks.
a is it old, like is an old joke yet? Nope, never. Not when it comes to family. They're always
No,
gonna bring it up.
somebody will bring it up in my eulogy. Like, remember that time, Megan? I mean, I don't know. Hopefully you're still around, but
You want me to
you'd
say the
be
eulogy?
if you're yeah, if you're still kicking,
I
just get up
probably
there.
wouldn't bring up the cake, but like if you want me to explicitly put that in, I will put the cake in there. So, and I can do that because I write fantastic eulogies. Just throwing it out there if anybody ever needs help. It's sad, but it happens, right? We have dark humor around death here. Sorry. But yeah, no, that was something that's always been brought up, But honestly, I love ice cream cake. I love it.
Same.
I wish, I don't know. Sometimes I wish we could just like get the crumbs and the frosting, do a little mixture. It's like my favorite part, the crumbs and the frosting, do a little mixture. You can mix a tiny bit of ice cream in there, but yeah, it's always the crumbs, like the middle crumbs, and then
I mean, our mom is no longer with us, and
all
we're
right.
immediately like, her birthday's coming up. We're gonna have an ice cream cake to celebrate in her memory. And she's probably up there like, do it.
Yeah.
Have that ice cream cake.
Well, Megan's like, yeah, so, and I was, I'm flying back home, and she's like, yeah, so like, I was thinking about, we should do something for mom's birthday. And I'm like, bitch, like, were we not going to? Like, I'm confused.
No.
Like, you're like, you made it sound like this was something you were thinking heavily on, and you're like, man, no one's brought it up. Like, we gotta do something.
No. I said maybe we should go out for mom's birthday.
No, you said I no before you said that. And then I was like, and then I think I said the same thing. I said, yeah, I was already thinking of doing like, were we not going to do anything? And then you were like, well,
Yes,
maybe
I
we
got
should.
plans.
And then she said the one plan, and I found it so funny because I was like, I don't think she's ever been there. Has she?
Case? No, but she'll be there with us in spirit.
It's not about her on her day, apparently. It's about Megan.
And the fact that you love Case.
I do love this place. Yeah, and I'm never really home when it's open. So, and it's in a season. So when I am home, I'm like, we got to hit it up. I try to like do like a tour, like a food tour when
She
I'm home
does.
and hit up like all my favorite spots. You have to. First of all, if people don't live in their hometown and when they go back or home city or whatever, when they go back, y'all know you have your spots you have to hit up for food because you're just not getting it where you are. And it doesn't mean that you don't have good food. It could literally be like one or two spots, but you're like, but I don't have it here where I am, so I
I
gotta I
mean,
gotta hit it up.
we don't live in Maine, but Dad and I were talking the other night, like, where we're going to eat. And Dad's like, that one place that had the really good beef tips. Like, there's 100 other places we could go to. And he's like, no, just there's fine.
Yeah, what was it? It was in York.
York River Landing.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, I still got the cup. If I forgot it, I would have ran to my cupboard and looked at the cup. Um, but yeah, so this Easter, last few Easters, I have not been home. And this Easter's the same because I work. So I'll be at work. I actually forgot it was Easter coming up. And
I
I
know,
was
me
in
too.
I was in like one of my patients' room and they're like, "Well, have a good Easter." I was like, "When's that?" And they're like, "It was Sunday." I was like, "This Sunday?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I'll be here. I'll see you." Like, "I'll see you then, you know? I'll see you on
Well,
Easter."
that was me. I said to somebody, I'm like, yes, my sister comes home next week. And they're like, she's coming home for Easter? You didn't tell me that? And I go, no, crap. We have Easter first, don't we?
She's coming after that.
She'll be
Yeah,
here right
so
after.
but if you guys do celebrate Easter, we hope it's a good one. If you guys don't celebrate Easter, we hope you still have a good day, right? Just like we end it, do something that brings you joy. But I know Megan's going to be enjoying a home cooked meal by her father that I will deeply miss. And I will be enjoying some work, and then I go for a run. And then I might be hanging out with my friend Kayla. So we'll see. But yeah, little fun activities. So I'll miss the food. I'll
Yeah,
miss the food.
I will be enjoying the food. While Caitlin's running, I'll be eating an ice cream cake and enjoying that. But it's crazy now, though, looking back. Like, I enjoyed getting the baskets from the Easter Bunny or whatever. But there's the biggest joy right now is my kids seeing the Easter baskets.
Yeah.
And like there was a giant bunny in our house. Like that freaks Erin out a little bit, but she still wants him or her to bring them stuff.
Yeah.
She's
I mean, yeah, that's kind of freaky, like, oh, a giant bunny is coming in your house, and there's no, how does the bunny get in? Like, there's this whole story surrounding Santa. Oh, climbs down the chimney.
we didn't have a chimney growing up, so our mom left Santa a magical key to get in our
Yeah,
front door.
that is true. A key. So, is that how the same way the bunny gets in through the key? Or
I
does
don't know
it
how the
burrow itself in a hole and pop up in the house?
I don't know how the bunny gets in, but I have a list for him for this year.
I feel like if we're gonna play into this idea of the bunny, I feel like we have to go all in. So
It's the
parents
whole point
out
of magic of the Easter bunny. Yeah, I want to
there.
do a poll. I'm going to do a question box on our Instagram. How does your Easter bunny get in the house? Does he just open the door and hop through, or come through a window, or a crack in your foundation?
Oh my gosh, a crack in your foundation. Oh, wow. Yeah, that I feel like that's even like more creepy than just walking through the front door or hopping through the front door. See, that's what it is. Cause you're like, is it a giant bunny? Is it a regular sized bunny? Like, if it's a giant bunny, yeah, that's kind of creepy. You see a giant. When we had the bunnies dress up as kids, right? You go to, what was it, Cross Gates, you sit on a bunny's lap. That's creepy. That is creepy. Our parents really had us doing that. I'm just thinking about how creepy that
With
is because then the bunny walks on two legs.
with
It didn't even hop.
don't forget the matching dresses that mommy and grandma put us in every year.
Yeah, we were cute though, so
We
that's
were.
not a problem. We were cute. We had
Mom
little
had
like
good
floral.
fashion.
Yeah, she did. Purple, pink, floral. It doesn't matter. It was very on cue. I
What
did
was
like
mom's
Easter dresses the best.
trivia? You're going to get it immediately. Mom's favorite shirt, favorite top.
The purple. It was like the sweater.
The cardigan set, right?
Yes.
Tell me
It
how
was,
I found one that just looks just like it that I'm about to order for myself.
oh, we enter in our cardigan era. Enter
I'm
in
an
our
old
cardigan.
mom. No.
We enter in our cardigan. But honestly,
I'm gonna
um,
find a picture of her wearing it, which won't be hard. She loved it and wore it for everything. And I'm gonna buy this cardigan set and I'm gonna take a picture and do a side by side.
yeah, you should. A
Hmm.
100%. She looks just like our mom. So, my sister. So, you'll, when you see a picture of Megan, just know that it's our mother. She looks just like her.
Just her
But
twin born 30 years later.
no, literally, it is that.
And then Aaron is that for me.
Yeah, so basically mom too. Um, so yeah, that's creepy. But yeah, do a poll. I need to see what these other parents are saying to their kids if they're like going the
All right.
Easter bunny route. Because I gotta know, like, what are you telling your children?
I got two polls. I got one, how big is your bunny? Sorry
How
guys.
first of all, how big is your bunny? Okay. I think you should word that differently.
The Easter bunny that visits your house, is it like a little farm animal bunny or is it a giant bunny that hops on two back legs? Like the ones at the mall? I want to
Okay,
know.
but the ones at the mall, they don't hop on they just walk. Like, that's, like there's no hopping that's being done.
They should
That's
start
why
hopping.
they
At
did
least
some.
make it look.
That's why I'm saying they should hop.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't. I've
And
never
then
seen a bunny get up, to be honest.
my second poll
It's on their
is,
wicker chair.
or no, my second one's not a poll. It's just a question box. How does your bunny, how does your Easter bunny get in to your home?
Okay.
Like if your kids were to ask, what would another parent say? Because I don't know what I'd say to Aaron. Easter magic?
Yeah. Well, there you have it. Every parent who's looking for an answer right there. Easter magic. When the kid will, what does that mean? Be like, if you don't believe and have faith in the Easter magic, I can't help you. And then
No,
you just
I
walk
mean,
away.
mommy
That's
and
it.
daddy are sleeping so that they get Easter candy too. What are you talking about?
That's the extent of that discussion. If you don't believe and have faith in the Easter magic, I can't help you. I can't help you.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Sucks for you. No Easter candy for you.
Yeah, I'm really caught up on the whole Easter bunny walking thing. I'm shook. Yeah, because really in the mall they never stood up either, so you really never saw them walking nor hopping. Or hopping rather, but because they sat on like the wicker basket the whole
Hmm.
time, like basket chair, like wicker woven, however, I don't know what the material is, like a woven basket chair.
The mall near our house probably still has the same chair from when we were younger.
Probably the same outfit too for those bunnies. Mm. Well, either way, I'm really intrigued to hear people's responses to this poll of how big their bunny is.
Sorry, guys.
Keep us posted on that. But we really do hope that you guys have a great week coming ahead. Regardless if you do anything, don't do anything, celebrate, don't celebrate. Do something that brings you joy, do something fun. And we are always grateful to have you guys tune in, listen, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Spotify, Apple. We're also on YouTube. Two Sisters Unscripted. You know the deal.
All right,
And
guys. Have a great week, and
we'll
we'll talk
talk
to you
to you
next week.
later.
Bye.